welcome back. Tuesday Talk with Taylor. This week, I invited one of my best friends, Joey, to answer a few questions for me. Being that this dude's only 23 years old and has come so far. He just got promoted as regional manager of 4 gyms. 23 years old, regional manager, 4 gyms. Now, I invited this dude because his mindset is just unreal. If anybody knows the definition of perseverance, consistency, and just plain how to reach your goals, it's this dude. So here you go. Let's hear about his mindset.
I'm a little different from a lot of people. When I wake up, I clear, like if I was angry or something the night before, completely gone. When I wake up in the morning, new day to achieve stuff. I wake up with a lot of enthusiasm. A lot of people, like, what's wrong with this guy? I come in with a lot of energy a lot of the time because again, I'm excited. Like, we got a new day to start some things, a new day of opportunities. There's always something to happen the next day that you didn't have yesterday. So I'm really excited with those things. There's new things every day. I have a new chance to achieve my dreams, a new chance to maybe impact somebody, and with those things, I'm not searching for fame. A lot of people are those things like, why does this guy, a lot of people are searching for fame. I'm not searching for fame. I want impact. Okay, I want impact. I want to impact people's lives. I want people to remember me. I want to have a legacy. I want these things. Fame doesn't mean anything to me. People know you for some reason.
All right, everybody knows it's easy to stay confident when everything's good. Easy. When everything's good, life is going well, nothing to worry about, no stress. How about when you fail? What's your mindset like when you fail or when, things are tough?
Awesome. Yeah, that's a really good question. A lot of people, when they fail, obviously failure hurts, right? Nobody wants to lose. I would definitely say that I'm a sore loser because I'm not used to losing. And how that works is, now, just because when I do lose, it doesn't mean that I'm, I outwardly, show that I'm upset or things like that. It's just inwardly, I'm very hard on myself on these things. So with failure, kind of how I think about this is, what can I learn from this, right? What are, I just learned another way of not how not to do it, right? And I don't take it as, the only true failure is not trying or not doing it again, right? So those are the only true failures. With those things too, there's only 2 ways to do something, right and again. Okay, so with those things, that's my mindset with everything. Is if I did it wrong, even if it kind of slid past and everybody thinks it's okay with me, I'm saying I'm gonna do it again.
So nowadays, I feel like everybody has an excuse. Everybody has some outside, internal, influence that's affecting them in a positive or negative way. What were some of your positive and negative influences?
Let's start negative first. We'll finish with some positive stuff. So definitely, I would say some negative things that a lot of people don't take in is usually the people closest to you. So negativity feeds on negativity, right? So the more negative things are around you, they put those negative thoughts in your head, and you subconsciously start thinking negative things, right? So again, cutting all that negative stuff out of your life is going to benefit you, obviously huge, because you start having more positive thoughts. It's hard to do those things when there's not supportive people around you. So some negative influences, I would definitely say, people in my family, things of, how they thought, how they, what they thought about their dreams, what they thought about their life and things like that. I had different dreams and aspirations than they did. People putting you down constantly with stuff growing up. But now some positive things, I definitely, I didn't achieve anything on my own, and I'll never claim that. There's a lot of people that had influences on me, and a lot of those things too with, I had a really good, I got in touch with when I was a sophomore in high school. I got in touch with a baseball academy in Las Vegas. It's On Deck Baseball Academy. They're no longer together, but with those things, it got me in a really great mindset for success. I was around pro athletes all the time. I started thinking like a champion. So I was a champion not only in sports but in my life. And I was around a good environment of people that always wanted to help me and wanted to see me succeed.
But what about all the people that doubted you? All the people that said you won't do this or you can't do that, or what makes you think you deserve to have that?
Hashtag the haters. With that, one thing a lot of people I hear all the time is a lot of people, because I'm so confident, and they're like, who is this guy? Like, why is he so confident? Why is he so passionate? Like, it almost comes off as like I have that alpha mentality where they're just like, people just don't like me because I'm excited. I'm out there. I'm kind of have that A-type personality. And one thing with that, I definitely don't think I'm more important than anybody or anything like that. Definitely one of my favorite quotes is, and I'm gonna read it right here for you. My favorite quote is humble enough to know that I'm not better than anyone, and wise enough to know that I'm different from the rest. Okay, and that's kind of my mindset. You know, I don't think I'm better than anyone because I think anybody can achieve what I've achieved. It's just that I know that I'm not like the rest. I know that I stand out. I don't fit in. I think differently. I put in the work. I thought, you know, I'm still growing in these things, but I definitely don't think I'm better than anyone. I don't think I'm above anyone. I just think that, you know, I don't think that anybody can't achieve what I achieve. And usually, like I said, you know, usually people, I understand, like, you know, the people that are envious, and there's two types of envy. You know, there's two types of, oh man, I want what that guy has, and I'm gonna work for what that guy has. You know, rather than, you know, the envy of like God, you know, like you not liking someone because they've put in the work. It's kind of, you know, that's kind of childish if you think about it. Not liking someone because they did the work and you didn't. It's childish. You know?
So we've talked a lot about hard work and what that means to you. But if you were to describe to our viewers what your definition of hard work is, how would you describe it?
Hard work. Hard work, I've said it multiple times. There's a difference between putting the time in and putting the work in. Okay, I can show up to the gym, I can be there for 3 hours, but someone that comes and gets it after it for an hour might get more work in than me. Okay, so a lot of people, the same thing I relate it to sports. Some people play the sport for 20 years, some people play the sport for 1 year. It doesn't mean that the person that played for 20 years is any better than the person that played for one. Putting in work is different. Obviously, I relate a lot of things back to my work ethic. You know, there's a lot of times where I've forgot to eat because I'm working, or you know, that I couldn't eat. I didn't have money. I mean, obviously, I mean, we're all, a lot of us been college students. We understand what it's like not to eat and those things. But obviously, you know, with these things of hard work and, you know, where I came from with being young, you know, you're gonna have to give up some stuff. I mean, you can't be everything. You can't be loved by everyone. You can't do all these things. You got to change your mindset, and you know, it's about consistency. All right, and commitment, and again, those aren't really sexy words, but what they can bring you are very sexy.
All right, now I want to ask you something because I think about this all the time. Why do you think it's so hard for people to stay dedicated? What's so challenging to you? I mean, I know what I think is challenging about staying dedicated, but what do you think is so challenging about people staying dedicated? Why do people give up so easily?
Dedication. I think they're just not motivated correctly. You know, with people aren't dedicated to things they're not motivated for. They don't have a big enough why. They don't have a reason why they do what they do. They just, oh, I do this for fun, or I do this for myself. Selfish reasons will lead you nowhere, right? My biggest motivation is I do them for other people. That's what empowers me, is I see other people's sacrifices and the things that they go through and the things that they've had to sacrifice for me to even have the, you know, like our military, right? They have to do these things just so I have the ability to be successful here in America, right? Those are things, I recognize those things and I use that as motivation. I use that as motivation because, you know, selfishly, you know, I want this car, I want this stuff. Like, that stuff doesn't last. That stuff burns out. It's easy to give up on yourself. It's very hard to give up on other people.
Moving right along now, you know, with all this being said, it seems like, you know, you don't always have that you time when you're working towards a dream. You don't always get to do what you want to do all the time being so young. You know, you want to go out with your friends, you want to have fun. But it doesn't seem like it was the case with you. What did you have to sacrifice to get where you are today?
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So what have I sacrificed? I mean, obviously, to get anywhere in life, you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of things. And I always believe that the higher you are in life, the more you've sacrificed to get to that point. So with that, I mean, I believe, so, what are you willing to sacrifice? You know, I love my family to death, but I'm willing to sacrifice time with my family to get my dreams. I'm willing to sacrifice time, obviously. You know, multiple people can tell you, as I was in junior college, time at night when they were out partying, and I'm out running sprints in the street and doing stuff and reading and doing all these different things, that I was putting in more time and more work than they were. So these are the things that I sacrificed. I sacrificed social life. I've sacrificed, I've sacrificed, I didn't go to a lot of my family's birthdays, things like that, that normal people aren't willing to sacrifice to get where I wanted to go. But there's one thing that was different between me and other people, is that I understand what those sacrifices were for. I didn't just do them openly. You know, I love my family to death. I knew what I was getting those for. And, you know, definitely, you know, with those things, I think I kind of realized, you know, early on that I wasn't really talented at anything. I had to earn everything I got. I think the one talent, I guess you would say, or skill that I had, was that I was relentless. And the fact that I knew that I would just keep working. Other people would give up, and I just keep working. People that were a lot better than me, more talented than me, I would just keep working, and over time, all of a sudden they were looking up to me like, oh, you know, look how talented that person is. But I don't think I never had a talent. I just was relentless in my seek for success.
All right, now what I want to know is, did you always know that you'd be this successful? Where did this confidence come from?
I would think I think my mindset changed over time. Definitely one of those things of I always knew where I wanted to be, but it definitely, I mean, there's trials. Of course, I think one thing, misconception that a lot of people have is that winners never lose. That's a big misconception. I lost a lot. I failed a lot. But then I started realizing instead of just failing, I'm learning from those things, okay? I'm not just failing and doing the same thing again and doing the same thing again and doing the same thing again. Every time I failed, I learned from it. I looked back on it and said, okay, I could have done this way. Let's learn from that. And I was never afraid to fail. And those things, I was never afraid. People looked at me and laughed at, I was reading, I was a nerd, and I got good grades, and all these things. People used to think I was weird. I didn't have this social life they all thought I would have. But with those things, those are kind of things that I always knew that I was giving up to be successful. But I mean, obviously, there's no 100% in anything. There's no 100% that you're gonna achieve something. Those are things that obviously, I just kind of had to take a leap.
All right, now I've known this guy for just about 7 years now, so I've seen him come from here to here. And this dude went from riding his bike everywhere. Rode his bike out in Vegas in the heat. When he moved out of like 7 states across, was still riding his bike down there in another state, in the snow, in the rain, in the hail. I mean, this dude just wouldn't give up. Now, this guy got a brand new car, Mustang. What other trials and adversity have you faced, aside from just riding your bike in all weather conditions to get where you gotta be? Don't get me wrong, I didn't say he was riding his bike cross country. He's not that crazy now, but I'll give him a little bit of credit.
When I was in middle school, I was kind of a little chunky guy, short. My brothers were athletes and 6'4" and 6'6", and I'm here, 4 foot nothing at the time, and a little chubby guy, and so things like that. So I had to overcome that. I had to overcome, with these things. Again, I was never really talented. I didn't have any skills. I had nothing. I wasn't really that smart. I wasn't anything spectacular. So with these things, obviously that came with. I had to build confidence. I had struggled with confidence for a really long time. People always see you at the end of the streak after you've built all of this, and they're just like, oh, well, yeah, he's always been like that. No, it didn't happen that way. People, that have known me, when I was really a lot younger, and these things can obviously vouch for that. But those are definitely, trials and things that I my whole life that I had to battle with, family not having a lot of money, growing up in, North Las Vegas and, kind of not in the best area. A lot of the times I had to overcome, the mental mindset of complacency, and I had to, make my own mindset, because my family's mindset growing up was not where mine is now at all.
Well, hey, thank you, Joey, for answering all my questions. I really appreciate your time that you put in, sharing with all the viewers. Amazing, amazing answers. I really hope that people take in everything that you said. But, I got to put you on blast a little bit, because there were those days when, we'd have these little video contests and in our workouts, who could work the hardest. And I don't know, I think it's time for me to show the viewers the real Joey.
Was squat max day. Goal was to squat 405. I dropped 405 like 6 times. I told myself, get your soft little ass underneath that bar and pick it up. I got underneath it. My legs were shaking, but I got it up.